Welcome back, good people of the internet. We're here for another one. Still on the bob. Road King is in the shop. More on that later. But today we're gonna do some maintenance upgrade, and what we're looking at is the BMF air cleaner element by Fuel Moto. So this is a direct replacement for your M8 ventilator air filter. They advertise it as flowing 90% more than the stock air filter. This is a dry air filter, which again, they state that flows more air and performs better than the cotton oiled ones like K&N and some of the other ones out there. So you basically just use mild soap and water to clean these things. There's no need to re-oil them. But yeah, you can see this guy is big, right? I actually have the Arlen Ness version of this, and honestly this one actually looks a little taller on the Road King. So I figured let's try the similar idea, different brand, and see if we can come up with any differences, and if we notice anything between the two. Probably not, but hey, that's what it's all about, right? Trying new stuff, different stuff, and hopefully help you guys make a better decision. Now, because it's so much bigger, it does come with this spacer kit, and it just extends where you screw in the front plate out a little to make up for the size of the filter. Again, with the larger filter, the rain sock is not going to fit the stock rain sock that came with your ventilator. So I paid extra, and I've got this rain sock specifically designed for this filter. Now, it's not a complete cover like Harley has, but looks like it'll do the trick. So let's go over to the bike. I'll show you guys how to take the old one off, put this on. I'll show you guys the difference in size, and do what we always do, take it for a ride and see how it goes. Let's do it. All right, so here we are. In order to get to the air filter, you have to take this little cover off. I'm using a 1/8 hex here. I've already got it loosened, but really you're just going to take this guy off. And then there's two larger ones inside. Put that aside, and we'll grab the proper size here. Okay, for this I'm using a 532. And that's all you need to get to your air filter. Now it looks like this guy's been getting dirty. I've got close to 5,000 miles on the bike already. Like I said, the oil filter's got about 5,000 miles on it. And as you can see, it's a little dirty, so it's time, at least in my book. So once you got this off, you really should take a rag and just clean inside as much as you can. Anytime you get access to something, might as well take the extra second, because especially here with crankcase breathers and all of that dirt that gets in here in the oil. It's just a good idea, and I think one of the next things on the list is one of those crankcase breathers, maybe something by Trask, either the dipstick or the transmission cover. I've had that on my list for a little while now, so just looking at how dirty the filter is, and also my jeans or whatever, I can tell that both of my bikes are going to need it. So if we can compare the two air filters just in size, here's the BMF, just to give you guys a point of reference. Here's the standard filter. So it looks like it's at least two of these, right? So like I said, you do have the spacers to help with the install, because the filter's way too high to reach that. So here we go. So it does come with directions. Another good plus, I feel about directions. And we're just gonna use this set here. And these guys are just gonna tie into these. Okay, once you've installed these extenders here, you do get two of these, and this side here is what's going to sit here to prevent, just to add a little more rigidity here. And you're going to just put this up, put the cover over it, and tie in your OEM bolts. They do say to test fit it first. They give you these additional shims here to use if, when you tighten it down, you're crushing this filter. So that is something you should look out for. But I can tell you right now, just by looking at this is going to be fun trying to get those bolts in there without these things falling down. So let's try our luck. All right, that looks like that's on there pretty good. The filter does not look crushed in any way, so I think I'm okay with spacers. I'm just gonna tighten these guys up a little bit. You don't have to over tighten these things. And there you go. Then we're gonna put the cover back on. Don't mind the dogs in the background. All right, so we got this tightened. Let's take a step back and we'll talk a little more about the filter. All right, as you can see, it is a significantly sized bigger. I mean, look, this thing used to go to the edge, and look at that gap there now. So again, big difference in the amount of air that is allowed to pass through that filter. Plus, it's a higher quality filter than the OEM filter as it is. So Fuel Moto advertises it just like that. Flows nearly to double amount of the stock element, proven to support well over 150 horsepower. And this is for 17 and up Harley Davidsons. Anybody who's got that HD ventilator. So it also says it works with the stock throttle body as well as the Screaming Eagle 64 millimeter throttle body. So for those of you who may have that on your bike, it's good to know. And there's also another specific reason why I'm putting the camera here, because I am curious, as some of you guys might be, on what that means for when you're sitting on the bike. So there you have it. I mean, I can touch it, obviously a lot more easier, but it's not something that that's in the way hitting me up here. It's just kind of gives me a resting part for my leg. So again, that's just in the garage here, but just to give you, I've got mid controls with mini floorboards, and like I said, I'm touching it, but I don't think that's going to be in the way. And just, it's hard to compare this to the seating position of the Road King, but I really think this one is bigger than the Arlen Ness Big Sucker air filter that I have on my Road King Special. So these sell for around 120 bucks to double the amount of air that your bike takes in. I think it's a worthy upgrade for those of you who are not willing or ready to drop 400 or 500 plus on an air cleaner. I mean, the HD Ventilator is supposed to handle as well as some of the aftermarket air cleaners. So take that for what you would, but it looks good. It's beefy. I give it that. Let's take a step back and I'll show you, and then we'll do what we always do and take it out for a ride and see what we can notice and pick up, if anything. But there you go. Now, the Arlen Ness one that I have on the Road King, it didn't say anything about having to be tuned or anything like that. Maybe a good idea, depending on the actual amount of air that flows in there, so your bike knows what to do with that and what it's getting. But like I said, all in all, for the price, if it delivers on what it's advertised to deliver, then to me, that's a win. So let's take her out on the street and give you my final thoughts.
All right, well, just got off the highway after putting some miles on it. Good news, there's no error codes or anything else like that. Seems to be working just fine. I can't tell you if I feel the performance difference just yet. Probably need more time with it, but again, 90% more airflow, better filtration. That's what Fuel Moto says. I tend to believe them. I have some of their other products. I have their RTX Ride full exhaust system on my Road King, so definitely a good, reputable company that makes does some good things on the performance side of motorcycles. If I had any gripe or any initial impression, negative impression, would be the width. Prevents me from pinching the gas tank with my knees, which is something I usually do when I get a little aggressive. So my leg, the inner part of my shin does rest against the side of it. It's not It's not uncomfortable. It's just more getting used to the foot position. I can still use my floorboard. It's not in the way of that. So it's not limiting me anything other than getting used to just feeling this just right here. So again, we'll take more time with it. We'll see how it goes. And then it's on to the next one. So like always, if you like videos like this, please consider liking and subscribing. You guys know the routine. There's more to come, and I will catch you on the next one.